Hi, my name is Danielle Price, and this is the Dietary Habits Questionnaire completed on the 25th of March 2019. Hi, Liana. Thanks for coming in today.
Pleasure.
So we're going to run through the Dietary Habits Questionnaire. This is just following on from the measurements that we did last week around your height, your weight, your BMI. I've calculated that your total energy expenditure for the day is 9,523 kilojoules in a day, so we can use that to formulate a little bit of an idea of what your diet might look like for some of the changes. Some of the changes you want to make around your goals. So we'll start off with your full name, which is Liana Roberts. Beautiful. And today's date is the 25th of the 3rd. So what was your main dietary goal?
I would like to lose 7 kilos in 5 months for my wedding.
Beautiful. Wedding in 5 months. How exciting. Well, that's definitely a realistic time frame to be losing 7 kilos. So absolutely something that we can work with. So lose 7 kilos in 5 months. Do you have any dietary requirements?
No.
No? Perfect. And before we get too far into it, I just want to go over a little bit about what my scope is as a personal trainer. So I'm not qualified to give any kind of dietary advice or anything like that. This is really just based off the Australian Dietary Guidelines. So this is basically accessible anywhere, this information, but it's just a way for us to get an idea of where you're at now, what we can change to help you on track with your goals.
Perfect.
So we'll start off. How many serves of vegetables do you usually eat per day?
6 plus.
6 plus. Nice work. How many serves of fruit would you eat per day?
2 to 3.
2, 3. How many serves of bread and cereals?
Probably 1.
1. How many serves of dairy?
Maybe 1 as well.
1. And how many serves of meat or alternatives would you consume in a day?
1.
1. And how many discretionary choices? You don't want to say that one out loud. 10 plus serves per week? Yeah, that's okay. I'll still keep filming. Okay, perfect. So looking at what the Australian Dietary Guidelines tell us, you're well on track with your vegetables, so 5 serves is the recommended. So you don't need to change anything there basically. Your fruit, you're also getting perfect amount of that, so it's recommended to have 2 serves of fruit per day. Bread and cereals, it's actually recommended in the guidelines to have 6.
Oh, wow.
For a woman of your age.
Mm.
So that is pretty substantially different to what you're currently having. So we might come back to that one. I'll just flag that breads and cereals is one of the ones we could maybe make a change in. Dairy is 2.5 recommended serves, and you're currently getting the 1, so that's also something we could change. And serves of meat or alternatives, the recommended is 2.5, and you're getting 1. So looking at what we've kind of, I guess, gone over here, you've got the bread and cereals you could increase, dairy you could increase by 1 or so a day, and meat you could increase by 1 or so a day. You've also got quite a bit of discretionary choices, so they do recommend only a couple in a week. Mm-hmm. Looking at what, like, I guess, kind of gaps, if you want to call it that, are in here, what changes do you think would be sustainable? How could you modify some of this stuff in your daily diet?
I think with the 10 plus serves of discretionary stuff, I think if I stopped eating a lot of that, I'd be hungry enough to have rice or porridge or something like that instead of having a donut or some cake or a cookie.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So limit discretionary. And what does your daily kind of, I guess, food intake look like? Do you have 3 main meals a day and snacks, or?
At the moment, I'm only eating twice a day, and it's very odd times and places, and usually a feast once I do sit down.
Yeah. So it's kind of fasting and then starving when you actually do eat. Do you
Yeah.
think there would be room to have a few more kind of snacks throughout the day?
Yes.
Yeah? So maybe we could add in a snack. Which kind of food group do you think you could add that from?
I think maybe if I had a little bit of yogurt.
Yeah.
Or maybe some nuts or something as well.
Perfect. So nuts would fit into the meat or alternatives. Get a bit of protein in there. So yogurt or nuts. How often do you think you could do that in a day? If you're eating 2 meals currently? we don't want to make too many crazy changes. So
Yeah.
do you think maybe 1 yogurt, 1 nuts?
Yeah.
You've got 2 snacks in there, 2 main meals.
Yeah,
Does that
perfect.
sound like it would be achievable?
Yes.
Times 2 per day. Perfect. And you've mentioned already limiting the discretionary choices. It might mean that you're going to be hungrier at meal times. So finding ways that you can incorporate these kind of food groups where you're lacking a little bit into what you're currently eating. So like you said, adding rice in there. Could be that you add a slice of cheese onto a salad or whatever there. Does that sound like changes you could make in the next couple of weeks?
Yes, absolutely.
Beautiful. And then you'll be well on your way to losing 7 kilos. Perfect. Well, thanks for coming in today, Liana. I'm just going to sign my name at the bottom here, and then we are all done.
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much, Jenny.
I can get my laptop right here.